Welcome to the Plotcast. I'm your host, Char from the Plottery. I'll help you plant little but mighty seeds of motivation so you can watch your ideas grow into beautiful, beautiful novels. Welcome back to the Plotcast. I'm here today all alone, so if you were expecting somebody else with me, I'm very sorry to disappoint. But I got this neat idea of doing episodes just by myself, like little solo speakeasies, if you can call them that. I'm not sure if that makes any sense. But yeah, I thought I'd do slightly shorter episodes, bite-sized, to help you guys out with just some things that are on my mind and maybe some short lessons that I can hopefully share with you. What I thought I'd talk about today is something that I see a lot of writers struggling with this inside of my programs, and whenever I talk to any one of my clients, they're always like, "Oh, what social media platform do you think I should use? Should I be on all of them? Should I create accounts, on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of it? Or should I just focus on one of them? And which one is the one that I should put most of my energy into?" So hopefully today I can somewhat answer that question, or at least give you a decent direction to go in when it comes to making your own choice for this. So I feel like I should kind of give you a disclaimer here that I don't really have an author account as such. I have a personal brand account, which is obviously, the Plottery, my editing services, but I also mix this with talking a bit about my own writing, and I'm kind of trying to do a little bit more of that recently. So maybe these tips won't fit exactly, and my experience isn't that of a full-time author, but I have been on a lot of these platforms and I've tested them. So hopefully what I tell you can be at least a little bit helpful in making you come to your own decision. So we'll start with the big elephant in the room, and that's Instagram. I think Instagram is usually, or has been, the go-to platform for many creators for the past few years, and it made sense for the time being, I think, because Instagram was a really good platform to build a community on. You had the DMing options, you had the profile customization. You could choose your reel covers and things like that, and they've got a lot of options like watching or sharing stories or sharing private stories with just your friends. All of that good stuff. I mean, I think they've added even having paid communities, things like that, group chats. It's a huge platform, and it has a lot of options. Unfortunately, they are very big on experimentation, so they are also quite an unstable platform, from what I've gathered anyway. I thankfully managed to grow a really big audience really quickly. I have over 100,000 followers on Instagram for the Plottery. But I think the reason that this happened was because at the moment, I think it was 2022 that we kind of went really hard on posting and growing our account. At that moment, Instagram was prioritizing saves, which means, when someone is scrolling over your account and they hit the save button, that means that they're basically saving your post for later use. This was really good for our account because our account was educational, right? I was sharing writing tips and tricks and basically what I still do to this day. And I think our account grew because of that, because we did get a lot of saves and that pushed our content out. After that, for a while, I think they were prioritizing comments, and we were still doing okay, but the growth definitely slowed down really quickly. And then now I think they've moved on to shares, which means you DM somebody else's content to your friends, or you share it on your stories or things like that. So that's why you might be seeing a lot of people asking you to share their post to your story or to your friends. And obviously this is not ideal for an educational account, because most of the stuff that I share is not going to be anything that you're going to want to send to your friend, unless you have like an author friend. We get very, very little shares And so the growth has really stopped. So yeah, Instagram is a decent platform to choose if you want to, but personally, I wouldn't put all your eggs in that basket. I have been for a few years, and I think I've finally decided that enough is enough, and I'm not going to rely on Instagram any longer. I'm going to focus on some other things, which I will get to shortly at the end of this podcast. The next platform that I wanted to mention is obviously TikTok. TikTok is, a newer, younger platform, and therefore it is still, growing a lot, and it has a lot of potential. And you can't ignore the fact that there's a whole book section on TikTok, Book Talk, appropriately named. And yeah, it's just a huge place for writers and for books. Unfortunately, I have never been able to get into TikTok. I don't really have it. I don't have it on my phone. I tried to make an account for business purposes and stuff, and we did post on there a while, but I just didn't get anything from it, and I didn't enjoy it. And yeah, I think it was just one too many applications for me to keep up with. So I can't speak largely to TikTok, but I do know that TikTok is not really good for community building. If you want to focus on community building and long-term relationships with your audience, then I would definitely recommend Instagram over TikTok. Although, yeah, times might be changing. So, all of this advice that I'm saying might genuinely become outdated in like 3 months' time, because of just the incessant changes that Adam Mosseri is implementing in Instagram. And obviously, there's the whole TikTok scandal where, they might actually be completely banning it in the US. So, no idea what's going to happen with that. But yeah, TikTok is generally not meant for community building. TikTok is that kind of platform where you will likely, forget like 98% of the creators that you watch on that application, because it is built in a way where it's very gratuitous with like short form content, and you go on there, you get your short dopamine hits, and that's it. You don't really remember what you just watched 5 minutes ago, because you've already, like, your brain's already gone through about 30 other topics since then. So yeah, TikTok is probably not a good choice if you want to really connect with your audience and build a strong, dedicated, loyal fan base. It might be good for blowing up and for getting out some advertisements about your book, and just getting some, yeah, really short-term viral benefits. But that's another thing that I want to mention in this podcast, is that going viral shouldn't be your goal if you are trying to make a career out of this, like a long-term career. What you should be focusing on is that sort of nurturing aspect of social media, of creating a community, of, authentic, loyal followers who will buy every book that you publish. That's kind of the end goal, right? Going viral, in most cases, if you go viral, you'll live off the fame of that one video, and most of the people that follow you from that video are not going to keep looking at your channel, and they're not going to remember who you are from that one viral video. Versus if you keep putting out sort of slow growth, consistent videos, your followers are going to remember you. They're going to be thankful that you are almost somebody that they can rely on, seeing every time they log on to whatever chosen platform you want to be on. Facebook, I'm not going to really talk about, because all Facebook's really good for these days are ads. So if you are going to be advertising your book, then obviously, yeah, you'll probably be doing it with Facebook ads, which will also kind of show up on Instagram and stuff. But yeah, Facebook is kind of dead in terms of any organic growth opportunities, unfortunately. And you also have Twitter, or X, which is another one of those platforms that was actually very good for writers until recently, but I think it's just kind of falling apart in general. So X might still be good if you want to connect with writers and share some, written thought, because I think that's the good thing about Twitter, is that it's always been very word based, and obviously we're writers, so we converse, and we usually have more of an attention span for reading text rather than just scrolling past it. So yeah, X is maybe something that you can give a shot if you want to. I have kind of given up on that also because I just wasn't connecting with anybody on that platform, and yeah, I just didn't find my people there. So I think that's an important thing to mention, is that if you don't feel good on a platform, just say no to it. I know, like, for me, that's the dilemma with TikTok, because for me, I'm like, TikTok could be such a good app for me to be on, an app for me to grow on and try to, make a name for myself, but at the same time, I just don't vibe with it. And I think that if I force myself to vibe with TikTok and to try to create on TikTok, it's ultimately going to come off fake, and I'm probably not going to get anywhere because I don't enjoy it. Which leads me to the last platform that I want to talk about, and that is YouTube. Now, YouTube for me personally is a strong winner in this case, and I would encourage you to think about whether you can incorporate YouTube into your strategy. Now, YouTube is a long form platform, first and foremost. You will be uploading videos upwards of 5 minutes at the very least, usually upwards of 10 minutes even. And I think it's very telling that if you can keep somebody watching the entirety of your 15-minute rant on your writing vlog, or you giving advice, or you telling a story of how you wrote your first book, if you can keep someone's attention for 15 minutes on that platform, you best believe they're going to be first in line to buy your book. So I highly, highly stand behind YouTube, and it is the platform that I have recently migrated to, and I'm currently testing it out. And the growth has been really steady and not even that slow, which I'm really happy about. And I think even just with the first few videos that I've posted, I've already noticed a pattern of, the same usernames coming back and commenting. People will come back and they'll start saying like, this thing, what is it? It's this phrase that I've seen on many popular YouTubers' videos, and it just popped up on mine the other day, and I was so happy. But someone commented, "Wake up, babe, Char posted," and I was like, "Oh my god, this is such a surreal moment," because people will start commenting stuff like that once they kind of grow fond of you, and yeah, they'll be loyal and they will listen to what you have to say. And if you have an audience that will watch 15 minutes of you talking, or listen to 15 minutes of you talking, like you might be right now, you can tell that that is a quality follower, that is a quality subscriber, that is a quality member of your audience, and you want to create better, longer, more informative content for them, because you know that they'll stick around and you'll get rewarded for it afterwards when you inevitably publish a book or publish a product or start offering a service or something like that. Having a really engaged and loyal audience is what anybody who's trying to make it in the online space should be focusing on. Don't focus on going viral. Focus on building trust with your audience and the people that you speak to. So yeah, YouTube, I think for me right now is the top choice, and I would recommend maybe having a think about it if you haven't already. And the good thing about YouTube is that you can always cut shorts from your long YouTube videos, and you can always upload those shorts onto Instagram, onto TikTok, onto, whatever other platform does shorts these days. YouTube does shorts as well, so you can upload shorts alongside your long form content to grow faster. And I think it saves you so much time. You just record the one long video, you grit your teeth, and you get over that camera shyness, and you keep making videos, and you make that one long form video, and you've got suddenly from that probably 10 other pieces of content that you can cut out. And it saves you so much hassle in the long run than if you were to create original short form content videos every single day of the week. I can promise you that. My content creation process has gotten so much easier since we switched to YouTube. Now, the last thing that I wanted to mention, and this is probably the most important part of this podcast, so please, if you were about to get bored with me and click out because you got your answer, don't do it, because this is the real answer. This is the truth, okay? I'm spilling the beans right now. Apart from any of the social media platforms that I mentioned, I beg you, do not put all of your confidence into a single platform. Now, I'm not telling you that you need to have accounts on every social media platform. What I mean by this is you should have your own tether to the internet, okay? You need to have your own website and your own email list, email newsletter, okay? Having an email newsletter is crucial for anybody who wants to make it in the online space, especially if you're going to be a self-published writer. This is non-debatable. Email lists are your own thing, okay? You own your email list. So everybody that signs up for your email list and gives you their email address, you have that person, okay? You have them. You have their email. You can email them at any time that you want to, and they will get that email. They might not open it always, but they will get it. They will see it in their email inbox. And this is important because Instagram could go poof literally tomorrow. Like, they could go bankrupt, something could happen, somebody could hack them, they could delete all of your followers, it could be gone just like that in the blink of an eye, and all of your hard work, you building up a platform for years, could be gone literally overnight. And this is not an exaggeration or me trying to get you to panic, but I am trying to get you to think about the possibility. I mean, we know right now that TikTok is fighting to not get banned in the USA, and they might get banned. So that is a massive shift for that platform. And you have no idea what is going to happen to these companies. You have no idea if Elon Musk is going to buy Twitter and rename it and change it, or if he's going to close it down entirely. It's all in these other people's hands. It's not in your hands, okay? None of these social media platforms are yours, and your profile is not actually yours. It's theirs. So how do we bypass this now that I've maybe scared you? You bypass this by slowly starting to create your own email list and slowly trying to take your audience from those social media platforms and get them to sign up to your email list. You can do this by creating freebies, free stuff to give them, giving them lessons, promising, whatever. If you sign up for my email list, I'll give you these cute character templates. If you sign up for my email list, I'll give you this novel plan. This is what we offer. If you sign up for my email list, I can send you 2 of my short stories for free, or you get to read the first chapter of my next book for free before anyone else does. Stuff like that. You entice people to sign up for your email list, and then you have their contact details and they're on your email list, and you own that email list, and you will have them forever, basically, until they unsubscribe. Obviously, they can unsubscribe. That's totally up to them. But you own that email list, and you're never going to lose those people who are following you. And that's a very important thing for you to have in order to be safe in your online space. Because even if you have, in my example, I have this Instagram with 100,000 followers. Instagram could go poof tomorrow, and those 100,000 followers would be gone. But I do have my email list. I have my customers, I have my clients, I have all of their contact details, I have other social media platforms, and other ways of connecting with my audience, so that I'm not reliant on those 100,000 people on Instagram. I actually have other sources. I actually have other people that I can rebuild my brand with if it ever were to happen that I was erased off of social media. I wouldn't go poof. My business wouldn't go bankrupt because I have these things in place. I have these email lists, and I have these this data on the people who follow me, so that I can always reach out to them, and it's not dependent on whether a social media platform exists or not. So just something to think about especially if you are going to be a self-published author. I think this is really important to, build your foundations, build them strong, and make sure that you are doing this for the right reasons, and that you are doing this for yourself primarily. Find the platform that you enjoy. Find the platform that allows you to connect with your audience and actually build trusting, loyal relationships with them. Because I can guarantee you it is worth so much more than one single viral video of you dancing that everyone's going to forget about in 3 days. So yeah, that brings me to the end of this episode. I actually quite enjoyed recording this on my own. So I am going to be doing more of these. I'm going to call them I don't know if I'm going to call them anything. Have you got any ideas for what I could call these bite-sized solo episodes? If you do, you can drop that in the comments, and I might consider the suggestion and name these episodes something different from my usual episodes with guests. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for listening to the Plotcast. If you want more writing tips and tricks, head over to my YouTube channel. Until next time.